Welcome to the GameTime podcast, an extension of the YouTube channel Pudley. We're your hosts. I'm Michael.
I'm Eric.
And today we're going to be talking about games again. Surprise, surprise.
Oh,
But
wow.
this time we're going to do something to help get to know us a little bit for the audience. And we're going to be talking about our favorite genres of games and obviously our second, just like genres that we love in gaming and like our favorites of each one. Just like to get to know the hosts.
Yeah, because we did another host knowing exercise last time, but that was a bunch of random questions. These are things we prepared earlier. Definitely not like 3 minutes before. Don't know what you're talking about.
The best content made last minute.
Obviously. So, why don't you start off by saying your favorite genre?
And at this point, if you follow my channel, it's pretty evident. It's fighting games. It's not even hard.
Yeah, yeah. You also kick my butt at them every time we play, but let's not talk about that.
I know. I've always been a fan of fighting games, and of course my phone broke. Still, you could cut that. I've always been a fan of fighting games my entire life, even though I got bodied in them all throughout my life until I turned about 15, 16 years old, and I just something sparked in me where I can pick up any fighting game within 4 matches.
Yeah, there's only been one fighting game I've been decent at. Even then, decent is only decent, not good.
And that's JoJo.
Yep. Because I don't know, it just decided that I was chosen by the gods of JoJo.
Yeah. And my favorite fighting game is a hard decision. It's probably either Dragon Ball FighterZ, Smash Bros. Melee, or Smash Bros. Ultimate. Those are the 3 options, hands down. But I don't know which I would choose over the other because I love them all. Melee, I love competitive and it will always be my favorite thing, esports wise. That's what got me into esports in the first place.
Freaking Melee
always hold that place
supremacist.
in my heart.
What next? Are you gonna tell me that you
I
don't
still
shower?
love and play that game all the time. Smash Ultimate. All my favorite characters are in that game. I can play it better casually than Melee. And it's just not that it's more fun than Melee. It's just that it's more fun casually than Melee. And then Dragon Ball FighterZ is either way for me. I genuinely enjoy every second of that game.
Yeah.
And I get S ranking every single match, even on the hardest difficulty against computers.
You don't gotta rub it in that we're all inferior to your massive fighting game skills.
If I had to pick a second genre, though, it would be either 3D platform or shooter games. Because, RPGs are pretty good, too. But, shooter games, I mean, Paladins. I love Paladins. Overwatch is great. Team Fortress 2 is amazing. Paladins is something that resonates with me a little more, other than Team Fortress 2, obviously.
Because Overwatch has died.
It's not just that. It's just that I resonate with the characters more, and I can access it with my buddies more. It's free, it's fun, and I'm pretty good at it, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, at least Paladins has tried to tell a story not over YouTube, and comics that they did not advertise at all.
Yeah.
So
What about you?
I would say that my favorite genre, the JRPG, because apparently I'm from Japan and all my tastes are Japanese because I have a problem. And I would say that my favorite game is Xenoblade Chronicles because, as I mentioned before, I like really long games that are very complicated and that I have to spend over 100 hours trying to beat. Because, yes, it is what I do, and it is what I do well. I mean, I haven't
Makes sense.
100%ed that game. It's super long. So many trophies and achievements.
Yeah.
And I would say my second favorite is Persona 5, even though that game is also really long and there's a remake coming out. Watch the Japanese trailers. It looks good. Ignore the fact that half the channels I'm subscribed to are Japanese.
See, as you know, Eric, I just recently picked up Persona 5 for my PS3. I
I
haven't
will
started to play it yet. Fall break's coming up for school.
I will
I'm uh I'm gonna wait until then so I can sit down and play it thoroughly. If I'm not addicted to Dragon Ball Fighters at that point still.
I will I will tie you to a chair and force you to play it. I made the same
No,
threat to
Dragon Ball
Tristan.
Fighters is priority.
Persona 5 is priority. It should be a priority in everybody's life. It's not.
Persona
I
5
wouldn't say
Fighters
that.
Z.
Yeah, no Persona 5. I don't know what you're talking about. I definitely didn't mix two game titles. I don't do that. I'm a professional speaker person. Definitely. But I would say the reason I like JRPGs is just because it's so long. The games are like really good at world building and immersion because not only is it a way for me to just to escape the monotony of a day, you know, going to a completely different world and all, they're also fun, cool to look at, sometimes really hard, other times just super easy. Because,
Yeah,
varying difficulty settings. But
I've I'm definitely not as big of a JRPG person as you. Like, I played the Dragon Quest 11 demo. I played Dragon Quest a little bit growing up. I have Persona 5 and stuff. Final Fantasy 7 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I still love that game to this day. So I'm not as big of a JRPG guy, but like
yeah,
you
because
are freaking like obsessed with them, like me
uh,
with fighting games.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't own all of the English released Tales of games, and then some of the Japanese only ones, and then Xenoblade 1, X, 2, um, a bunch of other stuff that I had to import from Japan because American releases are far more
Really
expensive.
soon it'll be Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
Oh, definitely. I am pre ordering that as soon as it's available because I have a problem. But
Yeah.
as I've stated before, and I would say that my second favorite are hack and slash games, surprisingly. Things like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Nier Automata.
Yeah. I like me some horror games.
Yeah,
Laugh.
they can be nice
Friday
and
the 13th
spooky.
is the best thing ever created in the history of mankind.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dead by Daylight, Slender, stuff like that. Like Resident Evil, Silent Hill. I love me some horror.
See, I like atmospheric horror games better, but I can see why you enjoy them.
Yeah, I like Silent Hill and like Resident Evil and stuff like survival horror will always be the pinnacle of horror games.
So does that make
But like,
Minecraft a horror game?
my favorite horror franchise is FNAF though, for gaming, anyways.
FNAF. The next question is, when's the next one coming out, and why are we not surprised there's a next one?
2020.
Tomorrow. I think you got the date wrong. The answer is always tomorrow.
Also, call me a cynical jerk, but I'm pretty sure Scott Cawthon only builds the lore based off of what Matt Pat says.
Yeah, I would definitely say he builds lore just based off community ideas like, well, they can make a better story than I can, so make it for
I
me.
mean, he did write 3 books
Yeah,
that
but
were very different and had never been talked about before. But like,
exactly.
what's 3 out of how many games? Six?
Too
No,
many.
7 at this point. 7 main story games.
Too many.
7 is coming out in next year, I'm pretty sure.
I still say too many because it's time to stop. Where are your parents?
Okay, you're a Final Fantasy fan. You can't talk about Time to Stop.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only own multiples of 5. And 10 too, which is a multiple of 5. Hey, at least they have the decency to change up the story and the gameplay. I just made tons of people upset at me, and sorry.
I mean, in Five Nights at Freddy's, with each game, the mechanics change. Like
Yeah,
FNAF 1, it's the most simple, but in my opinion, at least one of the most scary ones because of the
because
atmosphere.
yeah, and your attention is
Actually feels like a Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant.
yeah, and you have to focus so much on that one thing. When you mess up and you're focusing right where they kill you, then you get a little spooked.
Yeah. So, like, we both like we both like the same genres of gaming, but like in different like our areas of expertise are different than each other, even though we do enjoy the same types of games.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about JRPGs forever, and you'd be completely lost.
Yeah, like I could talk to you about a little bit about Dragon Quest, not really too much. Not really Persona. Um, Definitely Final Fantasy VII. Um,
Funny enough, I don't actually
I
own
think the more
7 yet
JRPGs.
because I'm
Well,
a
good thing the
loser.
remix came out soon.
Exactly. And I'm probably one of the only people who likes the change they made to the combat system. So,
Yeah, it's kind of like Dragon Quest 11 from what I've heard, where it's like you will use the menu. You can also run around.
yeah, but in Dragon Quest XI, running around the field did absolutely nothing, so you never actually did it. Unless you were just filling time while waiting for the enemy to actually do their thing.
Yeah.
In 7, the remake, it actually looks like, it has an effect.
Whoa, no way.
Whoa, actually doing something means consequences? When will you learn?
Oh my lord,
That's your actions!
have consequences. Ah! Shout out to
Re.
Semi Classic Sonic fan. Go follow him on Instagram, the imperishable Sammy Zenith. Great content.
Shameless plug of other
Um,
people's content. How could you?
yep, I had to give the man a shout out because he's the bomb diggity. Um, yeah, I enjoy JRPGs to say the least. Hack and slashes are definitely good too. Like Bayonetta's kind of of a hack and slash.
I would definitely say yes
Um,
because gameplay,
Guiding
combo.
3. Yeah, I want to get Astral Chain, a newer hack and slash game.
Yeah, I've been playing it. It's pretty good. I haven't gotten that far, but you know what? I could play through my game slowly or quickly however I want to. It's a good
Yeah,
game. I should be playing through it faster. But the chapters are so long that I can only play like one chapter in a sitting and I don't have a lot of free time anymore.
makes sense.
But
It's
what I
kind of the same with me. I'm always doing stuff. That's why I have to wait till fall break to play freaking Persona 5 because I'll never be able to actually play it.
yeah, then when you start playing it you won't be able to stop and then you'll have no life left.
I'm
At least
sorry, but Dragon Ball Fridays will take priority.
I will, as I mentioned before, I will tie you to that chair. Sir,
Never be able to stop me from playing Dragon Ball.
I will call you every day just to whisper, play Persona 5. Do it. Do it. You won't.
Oh, I don't think I will.
I can fix that. Though
Oh,
I would have to say that my favorite hack and slash game is probably Nier Automata actually because it has a mixture of both JRPG elements and hack and slash gameplay. Imagine that.
yeah,
Also, a really sad
that would
story.
make sense as to why it's your favorite hack and slash. My favorite hack and slash. Ooh, that's um. I don't know. Oh!
Oh,
Definitely freaking prototype.
oh,
Prototype one.
oh yeah. I briefly forgot about that game's existence. Don't
One of
at
my
me.
all-time favorite games right there.
I haven't played a lot of
Good,
it,
good game.
but from what I did play, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Another good one is Spider-Man: Web of Shadows.
That one I haven't played. See, another one games that I like, but I have kind of iffiness calling them hack and slash games, are the Dynasty Warrior style games. You know what I mean?
Like Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, stuff like that.
Yeah. They're good games and all, but they are super repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can see why.
it's almost like you find the one combo that completely breaks everything in the game and you spam that. And then ta-da, you win.
Sounds a lot like JoJo.
I don't know what you're talking about. Definitely don't know what you're talking about, and that is not how I play. Yes, it is.
Reminded me of John Tron. He's like, "Oh, I get it. I don't get it."
Don't worry. I never understand, yet I always do. 70% of the time, it works all the time.
Wait a minute.
Don't think about that too much. You'll
I
confuse
mean, I
yourself.
guess. I, I, you know what I mean?
I, I.
No,
I.
I,
Stop. No,
um,
he's
wait,
gone too
man.
far.
I, I figure, well, I guess while we're on this topic, like, what's your favorite, like, console or controller? What's your preferred controls for most things?
It depends on the game. Honestly, if it's like a shooter, motion controls, because it can be when it's actually accurate motion controls, then it's for me. I have a lot better aim than with a stick, and if I can't do that, then it's obviously mouse because reasons. But for like other types, uh, my favorite controller, I normally just use the default controller for the system. If I'm playing a PlayStation game, just a normal PS4 controller. If I'm playing
Yeah.
a Switch game, I'll probably use the Joy-Con. But sometimes, since Joy-Con can be a bit, you know, damaged, then I'll use my wireless Pro controller.
Yeah, I always tend to go with the GameCube controller, you know me.
Yeah, because you're a melee supremacist, obviously.
Exactly. But for like, as you were saying, it depends on the game. I completely agree. GameCube controller I use for 95% of games. But when it comes down to like, uh, most shooter games, I don't really prefer it as much. And then Overwatch, not Overwatch, JoJo's. And like other fighting games similar to that, I usually go with the arcade stick.
Yeah, aren't you getting a new
So
one
like Dragon
soon?
Ball Fighters and stuff. Yeah, it's coming in the mail in like a week, so I'm happy.
That's nice.
Okay.
So, the thing is, if I'm playing a PC game, let's just say that, because, I can't play every game with a mouse and keyboard. There are some that I have to use a controller for. And so, then it's just which USB controller do I use? And the answer is never PlayStation controllers because you have to download separate drivers for those, and that's no fun. Now then, my
Yeah.
Xbox controller it's not nice. So I use my USB Switch controller because I can.
Why don't you get the Mayflash?
Because that costs money and I'm
Mayflash
broke.
is the brand. It's the one where you can split it open into two separate things, console and PC, something like that.
Because that costs money and I'm broke, obviously, Michael. I don't understand why you think I have money.
Eric buys every single JoJo DLC there is. Also, Eric, I don't know how to turn on my song.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was like $10. It was cheaper than I thought.
And so
I'm just gonna say there's a
it all really
reason
just depends on the.
I don't have money. It's because every time it is there, it isn't there for long.
Yeah, so like back to like the controllers and gaming and stuff. It all depends on what game I'm doing and what controller I'm doing, all in all. So like fighting games, I'll go with either a fight stick or a GameCube controller.
See,
RPGs per se, I'll go with a GameCube controller, stuff like that.
yeah, say if I'm playing a hack and slash, it'd probably be better to use a different controller than to hold a normal controller awkwardly, but I say nay, because I may or may not be a horse, but because I find it fun to hold the controller in a weird way and make it work.
Yeah,
Because if I could
I mean you could find
destroy,
some crazy controls.
yeah, if I could destroy at a game holding a controller completely upside down, I think I'm doing something right. Don't question how I play Devil May Cry.
It's like fun to me.
It is fun. It's also a terrible idea.
Well, this is a much shorter episode, but I think we can cap it around here. I think we got what we needed to talk about down.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be doing a longer episode next week.
Oh yeah. Probably. Yeah, maybe an additional 20 minutes. Don't know. That's for next week.
All
Just
right, so why don't you guys let us know your favorite genres in the comments below? Because we love to hear your feedback. Let us know what you thought of this podcast, and give us suggestions about what we should talk about next. Make sure you check out Eric in his one video,
I don't know what you're
and
talking about. I am a I am a YouTube king. I have 30 million subscribers. All that jazz. You
but
like
you've
jazz?
never played Super Simulator.
Michael,
Um,
stop.
anyways, I'm Michael.
I'm Eric. I don't exist, so I don't know why he's promoting my YouTube. I don't exist.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay good, people.
Don't spontaneously combust.